What's up, guys? You're hanging with Drummer Boy Jones, and you found the spot for your Saturday morning rock fix, the garage. I'll be chilling with my crew, my main men, Patrick and Jason. You guys have seen them before. You know these guys know what they're talking about. So we're going to pour us a cup of hot coffee and get our Saturday morning conversation going. We're going to go into 3 albums. We're going to see if it's going to divide us up. We're going to find out which of us love these records, maybe which of us thinks that some of them should go straight to the dumpster. But who knows? You'll see. On the table, we're going to discuss Pretty Boy Floyd's 2017 Public Enemies. We're going to discuss Shinedown's Modern Offering Amaryllis. Then we're going to take a weird left turn into Faith No More's Album of the Year. Was it really the Album of the Year? We'll let you decide. So, we're going to break these down, see which one of them we're going to play for the weekend, let you guys check it out, see what you guys think. All coming up right after this. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hanging with Drummer Boy Jones. It is our Saturday morning hangout with my two partners in crime, Mr. Jason, Mr. Patrick. How you guys doing this morning?
Excellent.
Um,
You be excellent, Patrick. Just for you folks, Jonesy, you'll probably post this today or tomorrow. Even though I'm wearing my Flicker Stick t-shirt, I am still mourning the spaceman today.
yep. As we record this is Saturday on October the 18th, and as Jason said, we lost Ace Frehley this week, and so yeah, let's touch on that for just a second. I know we sort of talked about it before we went on, but personally, uh, that's huge for me. When I say huge for me, it's a huge icon for me. I did not really grow up as a Kiss fan. I mean, of course I was a Kiss fan, but a huge Kiss fan. Uh, I really got into Kiss, I guess, after Ace, in the 80s era Kiss, but still doesn't change the fact of who Ace was and what Ace did and what Ace meant to the whole genre that we love so much. And but yeah, I hate that because you first heard it was just a fall. Maybe he fell, and then you heard maybe he had a stroke. Or I've heard several different things, and then all of a sudden, was it Thursday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
Thursday.
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 You started getting pops of Ace Frehley's dead. Ace Frehley's dead. No, he's not dead. He's on life support. And then, of course, it was true. But yeah, enough about my thoughts. What about you guys?
Well, for me, same as you, Jonesy. I think you and I are roughly the same age, and we all knew growing up. You'd probably heard, rock and roll all night and whatever, all that stuff. But for me, my very first like Kiss purchase, my mom bought it for me was Animalize because I was 11 years old. But I remember taking it. I was somewhere, I can't even remember, and a friend's brother, older. It's like, oh yeah, that's all great. Heaven's on fire. He goes, you need to listen to early Kiss because that guitar, because the guy was a guitar player, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, here, listen to this. And he gave me the cassette because, I'm an old fuck. And it was Rock and Roll Over. And that is my number two Kiss album of all time, by the way. So that was my intro and just all of Ace's riffs and everything. And then, you dive into, you get music magazines and you get this and you get that. And like Ace was, and as we learned over the years when, internet and all that, like when Kiss was big with Ace in it, like he was, circus hit parader, greatest guitarist, greatest this, greatest. He was the man.
Yep.
And till Edward came along and, everybody heard Eruption, but still it was Ace everywhere.
Yep.
And man, just look at X, just look at Facebook of how many of the next generation to now guitar gods are sad or cite Ace as an influence. And I saw, we all know, like, rest in peace too, that Dime, massive Kiss fan, right? Buried in a Kiss coffin. Like,
Had the
New,
tattoo on his chest.
Yeah.
right. Nuno, John Five, Snake, ev everybody of our genre. Ace is great, right? Right beside me here, and I tried to put it up, but because of my screen thing, I still have my vinyl of 1987 Fraley's Comet release. Like, I remember getting on the bus and going to the record store to get it, and getting in line. I want to say line to make it sound way cooler. I was the only one that went in there and said, "Do you have Fraley's Comet?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I ordered one." It's like, sure, but whatever, doesn't matter. It's Ace, right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck. And when I went and saw the reunion tour in 96 or 97, whenever, in St. Paul, Minnesota, man, first of all, to see your heroes there all in makeup, like the second time around, was amazing. But when Fraley played Shock Me and New York Groove, man, yeah, I was like going to church.
Yeah. Yeah.
So big one for me, boys. Like, this is a big one for me. So as we talked about, folks, like, the three of us were talking before, is you haven't already been out there buying tickets, go see everybody. Go see everybody you can, because next year we're gonna have some more. The year after that, we're gonna have some more. And what really, to me, to be Debbie Downer here, everybody, in 10 years, we'll have nobody.
Yeah.
That's a very good chance. Within 10 years, we may have nobody.
Yeah.
So get out there and buy the tickets. Go see your heroes. Who gives a fuck if their voices are shot? Doesn't matter. Go do it. There. There's my thing, Jonesy. There's my
Like
whatever
it.
you want to call
You're exactly right. You are exactly right. And we're not getting any younger. That's for
it.
sure.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't really in. I mean, I don't hate Kiss. I just never got into them, and I tried. I made a lot of effort, but I put on X something about it because if it weren't for Ace Frehley, I wouldn't have my idols.
That's true.
I wouldn't. I'm. Everybody knows I'm a diehard Snake and Scotty Hill fan. Those guys wouldn't be playing guitar if it wasn't for Ace Frehley.
That's right.
And if Warrant and Poison and Motley and all these places or bands, their songs are tailored around what Kiss wrote.
Yeah.
So, while I get slagged a lot for not being a fan of Kiss or whatnot, I've never would sit there and say that they didn't inspire a generation and create the music that I love. So it bummed me the fuck out when we heard about it. We heard about it before it went to press, because we were getting some messages over at the Guru channel. We were getting messages from people that we've interviewed saying, "Hey, you guys may want to do something about this." And we had a long conversation about it, about whether or not to put something up until it went live from the press. And we both agreed. We were like, don't put something out until TMZ puts it up, or CNN, or somebody.
Yeah.
And we had a video recorded and ready to go if it was true. And then about 4 o'clock, TMZ put out that he was on life support. And we were still hearing from people, no, he's gone. This is just, they're trying to delay it until the family can all be, out there. And so we waited and waited, and then it came out. But it was devastating, and again, I'm not even a Ace Frehley or Kiss guy. I have the Trouble Walking record, and I like a few songs. I mean, I like Do Ya. I know it's not his, it's a cover, but and I know there's far more stuff that is way better than that. But that one was one that I thought, was pretty cool. And it's sad. It is sad. And like Jason said, X is a giant memorial wall right now, and I have a feeling it will be for a week or two to Ace, because that's the effect he had on people. And Jason's absolutely right. Sebastian Bach may be the biggest dick in the world, but every time he comes, I go, because you never know when it could be the last time.
Yeah.
And I just went and saw him about a month ago with my buddy Dave, who always goes with me to see Sebastian, and it was fucking amazing. And, even though he's the biggest piece of shit in the world, he's still massively influential in my life.
Yeah.
And I will always go see that. And I echo what you said 110%. You go out there right now and you go buy tickets and you go to those shows if you can afford to, because you never know when these people aren't going to be there. Remember, what was it in '07 or '08 when Bret Michaels had the brain hemorrhage?
That's right.
Yep.
And people were saying he may not make it out. I was devastated because I thought, shit, I love Poison, and I always go to see them every time they come around. And the goddamn it, all of us are going to go see them when they tour, hopefully this next summer,
Yep.
because you just never fucking know.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I'm
Rest
exactly.
in peace, Ace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can afford it, go see all these bands because they're that time's running out.
And they've given you a lifetime of enjoyment.
That's right. That is exactly right. And do yourself
Yeah.
a favor.
And speaking of bands I don't want to see, I can hardly wait to talk about Patrick's Choice.
Why don't we do that then? Why don't we
Let's
kick off with
go.
my choice then? I'd love to
Let's
hear that.
go. So Patrick on this week's episode picked up Faith No More.
And the 1997 album of the year, which in my opinion, it was 1997's album of the year.
There we go. So let's just start with your thoughts with it. How about that?
So that album came out the same day as Generation Swine.
Interesting.
And I picked up both at midnight that night. I was obviously way more invested into what Generation Swine was going to be. And not that this is about swine, but I've said it before on the 94 video on Guru's channel. I've never in my life experienced a build up to a record that I was more excited about than when Swine came out. And Faith No More did get some traction in Metal Edge, but not to the extent that obviously like a Motley Crue did, because Faith No More is not I don't even know what they are. They aren't a heavy metal band. They're not a hard rock band. They are just their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was coming out, but I wasn't nearly as excited as I was for Swine. Pick up Swine. There's 10 of us in the car. You're not 10, but like a car full of people. And obviously the first listen to Swine was like, fuck this. So I immediately, put Swine to the curb and was like, well, at least I got another one of my favorites. And I was so blown away by Album of the Year because the previous album to Album of the Year was this one, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, which over time is my favorite Faith No More record. But King for a Day this was such an extreme in going out of the mainstream. Whereas Album of the Year was kind of bringing it back. I think the band was fracturing at the time and they were like, we gotta have some sort of hit because Angel Dust had been a hit. The Real Thing was a massive hit. Introduce Yourself was kind of a hit. And King for a Day was forgotten, but it's brilliant. It's just so out there that there was no traction. Album of the Year comes out. The first single was Last Cup of Sorrow, which was all over the radio in Portland where I was. And then Ashes to Ashes was the second single. That got a video as well that was killer. MTV played it a few times in '97, but that was it. And then they broke up because the drummer, Mike Borden, wound up being Ozzy's drummer. And the band didn't want to sit around. They already had a replacement for Jim Martin, so they were down 2 members. They didn't care. They were done. And honestly, Mike Patton's crazy, so I think they had a really hard time being with Mike Patton because he's legit crazy.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, Jim Martin.
Yeah.
Angel Dust, was that his last record?
Yeah, that Angel Dust was his last record, and that was a absolute nightmare for him because he is more of a traditional metal guitar player. I mean,
Yeah.
he auditioned for Metallica, and they almost selected him. He's still friends with Metallica when he's still very tight with them. When they did that gig in San Francisco, what was it, like 10 years ago, where they brought like all their heroes and old players out, he went up and played with them when Danzig went up and played with them and all these other people. But he had such a hard time recording Angel Dust because he hated the music. And he hated what Mike Patton was. That Mike Patton was, 1 minute singing Commodore's songs, next minute squelching into the microphone, and then the next minute singing a beautiful song. It's like, can we just pick one thing and go with it? And they hated it. He got out. Plus, they had just gone on. The Angel Dust tour was opening for Guns N' Roses and Metallica, and that couldn't have been a worse place for Faith No More to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I love this record. I got it opening day, and I listened to it nonstop for about 3 years straight. Um, there's so many songs I adore on there. I understand people don't get into them because it's like 1 minute you're hearing a really great rock song, and then the next minute he's, got Arabian style keyboards playing, and he's going, and he's all over the place. So I don't expect people to think it's as great as I do, but the reason I recommended this album is because I know Jason is very much not a Faith No More fan, and I didn't do it to piss him off or anything. I did it because there's specifically two songs on there that I thought, at least I hope Jason will walk away going, you know what? Faith No More did have a decent song or two.
Well, are you leading into me now? Are you leading
Well,
into me?
I am leaning right into you, Jason.
There we go.
Okay. So here's my thing is I've never hid my distaste for, it's not anger or whatever. It's just not my cup of tea, I
Yeah.
guess. And I've said that I liken Angel Dust to 60 minutes of digital shit. But for me, I won't slam the musicianship.
No,
I think Jim
can't.
Martin is one of the greatest guitar players around that's underrated. Um, for me, it's Mike Patton. I just think he's not my deal. And yeah, like sampling shit. And then do you have to like talk in every song that you make? I don't want to hear your stupid voice. And I guess they're like funk metal. I don't fucking know. But you're hoping I like two songs. Well, here they are. I don't hate Ashes to Ashes.
Great
And
song. Yeah.
I don't hate Strip Search.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a great one.
Other than that, not my deal. So
Wow.
yeah, just my thing. It's no, Brenda, come on down. Okay. Other than that, just sorry, man. I tried. I
Hey,
gave
no,
it.
you know what? I accomplished what I accomplished.
Yeah.
You wowed me with Strip Search. I think Strip Search is brilliant. I love that song. But would you agree that you can't nail down a genre for him?
No.
You can't. They're all over the place. Where you have an extreme that is modern day Queen, I still don't know what the fuck Faith No More is. And the thing is, I don't think Mike Patton does either. He
I
just
don't
went,
think there's any
he should have
musician
been a
that has
solo
more
artist.
side projects.
Yeah, he just should have been a solo artist.
Yeah.
Really? Just whatever. So
He has these wild solo albums that were called it's like vocal melodies for, whatever, and they're like 35-second songs where he's just
Yeah.
into the microphone, and you're like, what the fuck is this? But then he has, like Faith No More and Tomahawk with Dave Lombardo and from Slayer, and he's got all these different projects. But then, hey, 1 minute, like I said, the guy could sing opera. He's got a magnificent voice, but then he's way out in left field doing crazy things with it. And I don't think we're ever going to see Faith No More again. It's pretty
that's a
bad in
shame.
that. It's pretty bad in that camp, and I don't think you could ever do Faith No More with another singer, though. So,
Yeah.
but thank
Okay.
you for listening to it, Jason.
I gave it a go.
I'm just sort of like Jason. I tried, Patrick. I tried. I probably went through it 4 times.
Mhm.
And like your name says, Patrick thinks Jonesy loves the new kids. I just seemed to listen to the new kids as I had this. This was horrible. Sorry, Patrick.
Did you like anything?
I did. Okay. I thought Collision started off with a cool riff, and the drum beat is good. I was looking at my notes. Strip Search, I'm sorry, guys. It's way too out there for me.
Yep.
I couldn't do it. Last Cup of Sorrow was probably my favorite.
Yep.
I really like that. Uh, Naked in Front of a Computer was horrible.
I love that song.
Uh, Helpless was good until he started all the stuff at the end. He's just like,
Help, help.
but I'm like you. Ashes to Ashes was pretty good too. I mean, so
Yeah.
I'm not a. I hate. I don't like saying bands suck, and because everybody has their own artistic way they want to do things, and to them that's the best thing ever. And the same way that, I'm sure I like a lot of stuff that people think sucks, but so
Sure.
I'm just like the same. I tried my best. It's just not my cup of tea either. But yeah, there were some things on there that was not bad, not
I
awful.
think I think you probably echoed Jason's statement. It's not the musicianship that's the problem.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. There's very, yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, your drummer's in Ozzy,
Yeah. Right. Right.
and but yeah, no, it was the musicianship. I just I tried my best. I was like, I've got to like this. Me and Patrick likes everything together, we really do. And I just
I'm
but
gonna go hang out in Hawks's garage because he likes Faith No More.
Hawks does like Faith No More. He really does. Yeah.
So
So
cool. Well, thank you guys for listening to it. I,
yeah.
I'm grateful that each of you liked at least one song. So
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
Yeah. What was mine again?
What was
Pretty Boy
yours again?
Floyd, Public Enemies.
Pretty Boy Floyd. Yep.
Oh yeah, Public Enemies, right. Okay, so Public Enemies, we talked about it easier, and I do remember it's coming back to me now, is that I like Pretty Boy Floyd. I thought this album, I think it was 2017, was long overdue. It should have been their second record.
Yeah.
Uh, this should have gotten, when we say it should have been huge, right? But it was 2017, but it should have got pushed a little more. Um, there's some great tunes on this album, right? We Got the Power was the lead off single. There's even a great, and it didn't get a video. That was with the weirdest thing. I guess it got a performance. There's a performance thing you can see out there, but for me, and they're still doing music and stuff, which is good. I mean, just like any band, the genre, the infighting and blah blah blah. But Steve Summers still has the voice. He's still out there doing it. I've always been a fan. Um, I just wanted everybody to give this record another go because it kind of just came today and never got anything and just fell apart, disappeared. It really did. And it's a shame because whenever a band of our genre comes out with a new record, it'll get a push on Twitter and Facebook and all the socials. This one didn't. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to use this platform, use Jonesy's show to everybody give it a listen, please. It's a great record for our kind of music. So to you fellas.
Me or you, Patrick?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I got Public Enemies the day it came out, and I got the just the digital copy because I don't think you could find a physical copy in a store if you looked. Um, I like the record. I loved Leather Boys with Electric Toys, and I didn't hear that album until 1993, and I fell in love with it because it was just so sugary great. It was the first Poison record all over again, and it was so great. And I never will understand for the life of me why they didn't get a second record.
Yeah.
I'll never get that. They didn't tour much on the first record either, which they were only a band for I think 6 months before they got their deal. And there's a lot of debate about the first record was written by Ariel Styles, who wasn't even in the band when they recorded it, and that the band couldn't write, and that's why they just never got a second record. I happen to love Christy Majors. I think Christy Majors is an incredible guitar player. His solo record is fantastic if you've ever heard it. when they announced that they were going to be putting out Public Enemies, I was pretty excited for it. I think the recording and the production is great in it. It sounds quality. The songs are of the same ilk as the first record, but I'm also now 35 years older. And while I like this record, the only thing that really is hard for me on it is that it's hard to relate to some of it now. When I was a freshman, sophomore in high school, I could totally relate to it. Um, I love We Got the Power. I thought that kicked ass. I love Shock the World. I love Star Chaser. There's some phenomenal stuff on that record. I don't listen to it much, mostly because yeah, I find it hard to relate to. Not that I can relate to Naked in Front of the Computer, probably no more. But I do enjoy it. I do think Steve Summers has an incredible voice. I think he's a lost gem of the genre. He deserves a lot more credit as a frontman than he gets. I think unfortunately for him, he and Christy Majors have such a oil and water relationship that they they hate each other and they're currently suing each other, and that's why we don't get new stuff. Is there's a battle over the name, there's a battle over the rights to the music. So all Pretty Boy Floyd can do in its current incarnation, which is Steve Summers and a bunch of other guys. I mean, half of the original lineup is dead. So that's all you get now is just the first record on tour, or they're playing Motley Crue songs. So
Yeah.
and
Is
it's a shame.
Is that original drummer dead?
Uh,
What was that?
I don't know if
Christy?
he's
Not
dead.
Christy. I know the bass Vinny. Was it
Vinny
Vinny
Chaz is
Chaz?
dead, and then there's one other guy that's dead
I
from
guess
it too.
okay. Yeah, probably was the original drummer. I always liked him too. I can't remember. I'm trying to think what his name was, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I still love that they proudly promote the image. They've
yeah.
never changed their image, and I think that's awesome. And they're on all of the cruises, and they're on all of they tour regularly. They just went to Japan and played, and I think they're back there right now, getting ready to go back. And I know they did a short run of dates in the early summer where they played the entire first Motley Crue record, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So good for them. Great pick, Jason.
Yep. I agree. Leather
Hold
Boys.
on. I need to interrupt.
Sorry, no worries.
Sorry, I need to interrupt. My wife just held up a sign. The Manitoba Hydro, that's our power guy. He's at the front door. They have to cut our power, so I'm going to lose my feed.
Oh no. Oh no.
What do you want to pick for your album next week?
Liquor Stick, Welcoming Home the Astronauts.
Perfect.
Okay. Sorry, boys. Post it
No
up.
worries. Good
I'll
to see you, my brother.
See you
Be
next
well,
week.
Jason. Get some rest.
Thank you.
So what did you think of Pretty Boy Floyd?
I'm like you, I love Leather Boys. And when Porn Stars come out in 99, I was chomping at the bit. I seen it, I ordered it, I thought it was fantastic. You even brought that up to go listen to, which I still hadn't. One of my favorite songs that it's just what was it? Oh my gosh. Shit, Patrick, I can't remember now. It sounds just like Big Talk. Everybody needs a hero, or a world needs a hero.
Everybody needs a hero. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I'd always heard they put out another one in 04 that was called Size Really Does Matter.
Yeah.
And I'd always heard and or read or something, it might be, but that was supposed to be the second record. I don't know if that's true or not. But on Public Enemies, I'm just like you. They're awesome. I still love they're standing for the glam, and they still, put that stuff on, and I've watched some videos and they still sound really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, us now being in our late 40s and 50s, listening to a song called High School Queen.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Or, but there's some stuff on here that is so freaking good. 7 Minutes in Heaven. Yeah. But yeah, that uh, we got the power. Do you want to rock? Shock the world. Star Chaser. Yeah, I mean, there's some really good stuff on this, and
Yeah.
I think, whoops, I just pushed play. Uh, but yeah, and I'll get the next one when they put another one out.
Yeah.
I love this style of music, and just some don't hit like they used to.
I
It's
couldn't listen to a new Poison record if they were singing about the number one bad boy.
yeah, yeah,
But I could listen to a new Poison album where he's singing, Life Loves a Tragedy.
yes,
And I think that Steve Summers, I would, Frontiers Records does all these super groups constantly. I would listen to a super group with Steve Summers singing on it.
yeah,
I think that'd be kick ass.
yeah.
But for some reason, Pretty Boy Floyd seems to be the bastard child of the genre because it seems like they're not respected by their peers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a great video of Bullet Boys performing live, and Steve Summers tries to come out on stage to sing Smooth Up, and he gets kicked off stage.
Really?
Oh yeah, and it's
I didn't.
it's and he's like you see Mark Terrain look over at the side of the stage, and the security comes out and pushes Steve Summers off, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like I'm trying to sing this with you, and
Yeah.
it's like
Not
if
on my.
if,
Yeah.
if Mark Terrain, who isn't respected all that much,
Exactly. Don't
is
like you.
kicking you off stage, what's the deal? So I'm not saying that Steve Summers is a dick by any means. From what I understand, he's really cool to the fans, but
Yeah.
there's something about Pretty Boy Floyd that keeps them from being able to latch on to a good tour. Why aren't they going out with, you know, Tesla or Skid Row or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Is it something like people don't want to be associated with them? I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously Ugly Kid Joe took their name from Pretty Boy Floyd, which I think
Right.
is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. I remember hearing that, and I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
exactly. But I've always kind of felt like Pretty Boy Floyd had this great kind of pop punkish sound on their first record, and they continued it on this Public Enemies record. I like you. I bought Porn Stars, and I bought the other one that you mentioned, Everybody Needs a Hero. That was actually a song that was originally written by Kerry Kelly for his band Big Bang Babies.
Big Bang Babies. Matter of fact, yep, there it is right there, written down. Big Bang Babies. That's
Yeah, and obviously Big Bang Babies never got a deal and never got a record out, but Pretty Boy Floyd was able to take that song, and
yeah.
try something with it. But
You made a really good point on that. They are, because you can tell on some of the lyrics, they're pretty cornball and cheesy. Maybe they couldn't write. Maybe that was maybe that's part
I
of it.
can't help but feel that that's the problem,
Yeah.
and I really like Christy Majors. He did a solo album in like 2000, I want to say 10 or 11, and it was badass.
It was,
So,
yeah.
I mean, he's clearly not the bad writer,
Yeah.
but I agree with you though. High School Queen, 17, like
Yeah.
when I'm 50 years old, it doesn't ring. I can't catch on with it. The music was fine.
Yeah.
The only other knock that I have on this record is I like the record, is that it seems like the vocal melodies are the same on every song.
Yep.
Like they're very feel the heat,
Yeah.
beep, boop, boop. And then
Yeah.
you get another song is a do 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 do. So
It's good for 2 or 3 songs, but not the whole
not
album.
12 or 13, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It is a good long record. So,
Yeah.
all right. So let's go into my pick
Amaryllis.
was Amaryllis by Shinedown. And I'd done a video on Shinedown. Me and Hoxie had already. People know that I'm a huge fan of Shinedown. I think that they're getting a little more poppier now than they used to be,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay. But I thought they carried the torch with Nickelback, which I'm unapologetic a huge fan of Nickelback. Uh, I that's just what I like. The heavy poppy, I just like it. I like it. But Amaryllis is sort of like for me, uh, maybe Patrick the way Faith No More is for you. I mean, this thing is all over the place.
It
You know,
definitely is.
it's pop, it's heavy, it's but I don't know. This one just hit me sort of like you was talking about with Faith No More. And I probably can see if, which Jason's not on here. I don't know if he shared his opinions with you.
It
I could
does.
see where people don't like it, and I get that, but I loved it. But what'd you think about it, man?
Shinedown came into my life in 2008, 2009. I believe that's when it was, when the Sound of Madness came out.
Yeah,
Do you know what year that was?
I think it was 8.
Yeah, I think it was '08. Because I remember I don't remember the name of the song, but it was the one about I just saw Haley's coming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that was everywhere. And my friend in
It
Arizona,
was 8.
Matt, he was one of my best friends, and we always share music with each other daily. Um, he sent me this was back when we would still send each other CDs in the mail. And he sent me a disc that had a bunch of Shinedown songs, and I was like, this stuff's okay. It's not bad. It's not my thing, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
You mentioned it earlier, you're a diehard Nickelback fan, and I respect Nickelback. I respect the shit out of them. I'm not a fan, but they do not warrant the hate they get.
yeah,
I think it's ridiculous. You're gonna fucking knock a band that sold like 15 million albums in like a 3 album span, and everything was a hit that they
yeah,
released. Like,
yeah.
come
That's
on.
sort of the modern day wingers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
And
plug
people just,
for our show with the Guru this week on a winger. Go check that out on Hair Metal Guru because that was a
great
lot of
episode.
fun about Wingers Pool. Sorry, go
Absolutely.
ahead, Patrick.
No.
Didn't mean to.
So my the hard time I have is that I hated Pearl Jam because they were a I
Yeah,
didn't like Nickelback because it was like, okay, we're gonna take the but we're gonna put a driving fucking guitar behind it.
gotcha.
And then, it was like the evolution was like Pearl Jam, Creed, Nickelback, and then Shinedown. So Shinedown's like the fourth generation of that, where they went, okay, well, we're not going to be Pearl Jam because we're not going to, do the whole rootsy kind of like, melancholy thing, and then we're not going to be Creed and go the religious route, and we're not going to be Nickelback. Well, we'll be more Nickelback than that. But this kid who sings for Shinedown can sing really well.
Yeah,
He's got a great voice. And I like more Shinedown songs than I like of Nickelback, or I don't like any Creed songs. And I hate Pearl Jam. So listening to this record, I loved the song Unity. I thought it was fucking great. Great song. I liked I'll Follow You was a good song.
yeah,
Bully was the first single. I remember hearing Bully on the radio and just being like, here we go again. Like, here's another you know, exactly what you would expect
yeah,
from Shinedown. I don't think Shinedown deviates far from their strengths,
yeah.
and I think they play to what their fans want to hear. They're not out there trying to, write naked in front of the computer. They're trying to write, I mean, they're not. And
Yeah,
they don't seem to take a lot of chances. Although, from what I understand with this record, they did take some chances,
a little
uh,
bit. Yeah,
a little bit. And um, I don't know how successful this record was. I don't know I'm sure it went platinum because it seems like everything they do goes platinum.
yeah.
So,
It didn't do Sound of Madness numbers,
no, I don't think
but
any of their records have.
yeah, but
Um, but yeah, in the grand scheme of things, will I listen to it a ton? Probably not, but I did like what I heard. And it's that genre is very much a very for every Shinedown, there's about 50 Shinedowns.
that's right.
And they're all cookie cutter, you're gonna have the
Yeah,
type of riff, and
yeah.
some guy, like, it's very disturbed, and
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
very formulaic. But the last thing I want to point out on this is, after listening to this, I guarantee you this stuff fucking hits hard live.
yeah.
I
They're
bet you probably walk away going, "Holy fuck, I got rocked."
Yeah.
because the music in a live setting like this would be great. And with his beauty, I mean, he's got a fantastic voice.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he can rip that shit off live. And it's not a surprise to me that they're as big as they are.
Yeah. You made a very good point right there. That's what sold me. Hoxie talked to me. He was like, "Man, you got to let's go see him. Let's go see him." He had done seen him a couple of times. He was like, "You'll love it." So we went, and that's what sold me. I was like, "Holy shit, this was amazing!" They was so heavy live, and the in the newer records, the last two or three that was after this, they started getting more. To me, they have one of the best drummers that's out there right now. That Barry Kirsch, I think's his name. But on the albums, a lot of their shit's programmed,
Mm,
and I'm like, why you got one of the best drummers in the world? Just
yeah.
play. I don't care about all the bells and the whistles. But I still like them. I think the more I've went along, like to me, this was their last great record, in my opinion. It started getting watered down and things like that. I mean, I like some of the stuff that they still do, just not the whole thing. I really like this whole record, but yeah, I'm just like you. Pearl Jam, no, never was a big Creed fan. Nickelback, like you said, they're forever Nickelback and Shinedown. There is 1,000 more, and I don't really
Oh,
care.
yeah.
I don't really care for them. I love
It's just
Nickelback.
bland. It's
Yeah,
very bland. But you could say that about for every Motley Crue. There's, a Pretty Boy Floyd and there's like
yeah,
variations of them, and Shinedown somehow rose to the top of current day. I think if Shinedown released a new album against a brand new Creed record, and there hasn't been a brand new Creed record in 100 years,
yeah,
I think the Shinedown record over the test of time would probably sell more copies.
yeah,
But I don't slight them for it. It's just they're at the cream of the crop of what they do.
yeah, yeah.
So, but
Well, good.
you mentioned something I wanted to jump on real quick isn't it kind of an interesting phenomena that when a band releases the album that you feel is their quintessential, like, oh my God, this is the best record they ever did, and you're so highly anticipating the next one never lives up to it.
Never lives up to it, does it? No, I'm just like you. That's.
I hate that.
I do too. I do too.
I'm worried for if Skid Row ever did reunite with Baz, there's no way it could live up to
the first three.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if Poison actually did get their shit together, got Butch Walker to produce,
Yeah.
wrote, didn't write fucking Ride the Wind or Fallen Angel 100,000 times over again, could it live up to anything? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah, because Hollyweird as Jason likes to put things, is 60-minute turd, audio turd. Yeah, and I hate that. And it's a fine line, like you were saying earlier. You want to hear new stuff from your favorite bands, but then your favorite bands are like, why do we put out new stuff when we can live off our other stuff? And
right.
And then, every once in a while you'll find a good one, but a lot of times they're, some of this stuff's like, no. But just, like everybody said, just shut up and play Home Sweet Home. you know,
Freebird. Yeah.
We don't want to hear Brandon play Home Sweet Home.
What's funny is when Swine came out, I was so, this can't possibly be this bad. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in here. Like, I will find it. I must have listened to Swine that came out in like July of 97, June or July. And I remember giving that all the way through. I was still trying in 98.
Yeah.
And I was still telling people, oh, it's a great record.
Yeah. But deep inside you, it's like
ultimate denial.
Yeah. I remember first, I literally felt sick in my stomach when I heard it. I mean, it was just like, are you
Do you remember when they went on like Regis and Kathy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
They didn't even play a song. I
Yeah.
remember watching them play Afraid on David Letterman outside.
Letterman.
They were outside in the street playing it. And I was like, holy fuck. And then as they went to commercial, they started into Dr. Feelgood. And I was like, oh my God, like I cannot wait. From the minute, even when we were standing in line to buy it at midnight, the Tower Records started playing the record. So we heard all of Find Myself. I'd already heard Afraid, and Flush was starting when
Yeah.
I paid and was walking out. I remember hearing Find Myself and being like, I don't like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to hear Nikki Sixx sing. I don't need to hear any of this. And then that kick in the, like you just said, it was like a kick in the stomach. I felt sick. I was
Yeah.
like, I have wanted this for months.
Yeah.
I bought every magazine. I bought the record and two of the Motley Brews.
Yes.
I bought the blue one and the green one. And then
Yeah.
I drank the blue one and I thought I was gonna die because my shit was blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
fuck,
Yep.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
Mom,
Yeah.
Shit. But I remember having to go to work when I drank the Motley Brew and my teeth were blue, and as much as I was brushing, I couldn't get it off. Like, fuck.
I had one in storage and it busted. And it was in a box of my original crew records. All of my original crew records are blue. There's in a
Oh,
box, which I've regot them since then. But the ones that I had originally bought when I was a kid, which it was just the first four records,
still.
but still, yeah, there's
Yeah, the
that
first
bottle was
pressings,
in
I'm
there.
sure.
It busted. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. That shit. I still have one Motley Brew. But I tell people, like people give me shit for wearing the Generation Swine shirt. That has nothing to do with the record.
no,
I
it's just
wear
a
that
cool.
because I loved the album cover,
Yes.
and it takes me back to my love and how obsessed I was with this music and waiting for releases to come out in a
Yeah.
time when nobody was waiting for them to come out.
Yeah.
I
I was
remember
just yes.
itching to get Slang when it came out.
Yeah.
Itching to get. I remember being at the store at midnight to buy Savage's Dead Winter Dead,
Yeah.
and like just thinking, wow, last week there was 50 people here for Motley Crue. How many people are going to be here for Sabotage?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No, but yeah. Yeah.
I had to ask, and they had to go dig it out of a box.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
yep. Same way I was with Ultraphobic. They had to go
Yeah,
find the damn thing. It was like, well, I don't know if we got it or not, you know.
right.
And so, but yeah.
So what's your album next week going to be?
All right. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to get back into uh, more of what we love.
Sure.
And I say what we love, but bands that we love. So I've got two, and I'm going to let you pick one of my two.
Okay.
How about that? I'm going to say either Enough's Enough's Animals with Human Intelligence or Great White's Hooked. I'm going to pick one, or I'm going to let you pick mine. I just was going through mine this morning. I was like, I want to get back to, quit throwing curveballs out. This is just me personally.
Yeah.
And re-listen to some of these albums that I loved growing up. Maybe I don't like them no more, but what do you think?
I'm going to pick from 1994. This album. I knew their massive songs from, they're on classic rock radio every single day. You can hear them on any radio station, even like just adult contemporary. But in 94, they came out with their comeback record with a brand new singer. And I had no idea it was coming. It wasn't in Metal Edge because I don't think Metal Edge really covered them. But watching MTV one day, the commercial for the record came on. They never played a video from it, but the commercial. Remember when they used to play a commercial for
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
From 1994, the Boston album Walk On.
Awesome.
Have you ever heard that record?
Nope.
Well, you're in for a fucking treat.
All right.
They got a
'Cause-
new singer because Brad Delp wasn't in the band anymore. They got a guy named Fran Cosmo to
Okay.
sing. Fran Cosmo, I think uh, he's come back since and done stuff since Brad Delp is no longer with us.
Right.
But Fran Cosmo, I've tried to get him on the Hair Metal Guru show and just get no response. But Walk On from 1994.
Okay.
And don't forget, Welcome Home the Astronauts from Flicker Stick. Have you ever heard that record?
I have not that one either.
Oh, yeah, that's a fucking banger of a record. It's a great record. So I just
Cool.
wish someday we could get the Enough's Enough Bands on the Run stuff, because
Oh yeah, that would be
I
great.
remember they were going to be on it, and I think Tracy Guns tried and lobbied hard to get. They had almost rebooted that show in 2002, and Tracy Guns tried to get Brides of Destruction on it,
Oh man, that
but
would have been cool.
they were too big. They would have.
Yeah,
They had name recognition. So,
yeah, yeah.
but
Well, my brother, it's been a fantastic Saturday morning hang,
it was.
and I love
Thanks
doing this.
from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for trying the Faith No More thing. I know that's a tough sell for anybody, but
Yeah,
thanks for giving that a shot. I
oh,
appreciate it.
absolutely. Because if you know, when you guys ask me or tell me that you like it, I, more than likely I'm going to, because our
Yeah.
tastes are a lot alike. And but there's some things we just
We-
like you said, we got to have a bad cop and a good cop on some of this stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, and Mike Patton is a tough sell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is, and so which one do you want to go with? Do you want to go with Enough's Enough or Great White? That way we can tell Pat.
I know that Enough's
Jason.
Enough record like the back of my hand, so I'm gonna go Great White, because I remember buying Hooked through Columbia House because I thought the cover was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
And I haven't listened to it probably since '95. So
yeah. When
I'm
it come,
excited to
I'm
give it a
just
shot.
like you. I love the cover, and when it come out, I was truly, truly, truly disappointed.
Yeah,
But after that, I've listened to it some here and there, and it's a lot better than I thought it used to be. So
that's why I'm looking forward to listening to
yeah,
it, brother.
yeah. Well, my brother, have a great weekend. What's
Go
I
Gators.
say what's left of it? It's just starting, so we got all weekend. So
You
go
got it.
Gators! This might be the last Saturday with our coach since they're off next week. That's what I keep hearing. They're off next week. It'll give them 2 weeks to get whatever going. But
Right on.
all right,
Love you,
love you, my
Jonesy.
brother.
Be
Have a
well.
great weekend. See you, bud.
You too.